So good. Tune in Tuesdays, don't be late. Nate and Mike got info great. Local auto news you need to hear. Ready to shift your knowledge gear. They're the pros from the dealer's floor, with tips and tricks and so much more. Be the buyer that's wise and smart. Rolling in style, you're off to a start. Mohawk Table Talk, come join the ride. The podcast that's got you auto supplied. From deals to trends and buying advice, we'll make our shopping extra nice. Got a question? Ask away. Nate and Mike got things to say. Guests drop in with insights to share. They'll guide you with their expert flair. Stories flow, insights unfold. Stay ahead, drive bold and cold. Mohawk secrets shared with care. Hit the road with confidence to spare. Mohawk Table Talk, come join the ride. The podcast that's got you auto supplied. From deals to trends and buying advice, we'll make our shopping extra nice. Think of Porsche on every day. Mohawk Table Talk, come join the ride. The podcast that's got you auto supplied. From deals to trends and buying advice, we'll make our shopping extra nice. We are so glad you're here. Tune in Tuesdays, don't be late. Nate and Mike got info great. Local auto news you need to hear. Ready to shift your knowledge gear. The pros from the dealer's floor, with tips and tricks and so much more. Be the buyer that's wise and smart. Rolling in style, you're off to a start. Mohawk Table Talk, come join the ride. The podcast that's got you auto supplied. From deals to trends and buying advice, we'll make car shopping extra nice. Got a question? Ask away. Nate and Mike got things to say. Guests drop in with insights to share. They'll guide you with their expert flair. Stories flow, insights unfold. Stay ahead, drive bold and cold. Mohawk secrets shared with care. Hit the road with confidence to spare. Mohawk Table Talk, come join the ride. The podcast that's got you auto supplied. From deals to trends and buying advice, we'll make car shopping extra nice. Stories flow, insights unfold. Stay ahead, drive bold and cold. Mohawk secrets shared with care. Hit the road with confidence to spare. Mohawk Table Talk, come join the ride. The podcast that's got you auto supply. From deals to trends and buying advice, we'll make car shopping extra nice. Tune in Tuesdays, don't be late. Nate and Mike got info great. Local auto news you need to hear. Ready to shift your knowledge gear. They're the pros from the dealer's floor, with tips and tricks and so much more. Be the buyer that's wise and smart. Rolling in style, you're off to a start. deals to trends and buying advice, we'll make car shopping extra nice. Got a question? Ask away. Nate and Mike got things to say. Guest drop in with insights to share. They'll guide you with their expert flair. Stories flow, insights unfold. Stay ahead, drive bold and cold. Mohawk secrets shared with care. Hit the road with confidence to spare. Mohawk Table Talk, come join the ride. The podcast that's got you auto supplied. From deals to trends and buying advice, we'll make car shopping extra nice. Got a question? Ask away. Nate and Mike got things to say. Guests drop in with insights to share. They'll guide you with their expert flair. Stories flow, insights unfold. Stay ahead, drive bold and cold. Mohawk secrets shared with care. Hit the road with confidence to spare. Mohawk Table Talk, come join the podcast that's got you auto supplied. From deals to trends and buying advice, we'll make car shopping extra nice. Mohawk Table Talk, come join the ride. The podcast that's got you auto supplied. From deals to trends and buying advice, we'll make car shopping extra nice.
We're the one you way up. We are so glad you're here. Tune in Tuesdays, don't be late. Nate and Mike got info great. Local auto news you need to hear. Ready to shift your knowledge gear. They're the pros from the dealer's floor, with tips and tricks and so much more. Be the buyer that's wise and smart. Rolling in style, you're off to a start. Mohawk Table Talk, come join the ride. The podcast that's got you auto supplied. From deals to trends and buying advice, we'll make car shopping extra nice. Got a question? Ask away. Nate and Mike got things to say. Guests drop in with insights to share. They'll guide you with their expert flair. Stories flow, insights unfold. Stay ahead, drive bold and cold. Mohawk secrets shared with care. Hit the road with confidence to spare. Mohawk Table Talk, come join the ride. The podcast that's got you auto supplied. From deals to trends and buying advice, we'll make car shopping extra nice. Stories flow, insights unfold. Stay ahead, drive bold and cold. Mohawk secrets shared with care. Hit the road with confidence to spare. Mohawk Table Talk, come join the ride. The podcast that's got you auto supplied. From deals to trends and buying advice, we'll make car shopping extra nice.
We are so bad. Don't be late. Local auto news you need to hear. Ready to shift your knowledge gear. They're the pros from the dealer's floor, with tips and tricks and so much. Talk, the podcast that's and think of Porsche on every day. Mohawk Table Talk, come join the ride. The podcast that's got you auto supplied. From deals to trends and buying advice, we'll make our shopping extra nice. We are so glad you're here. Tune in Tuesdays, don't be late. Nate and Mike got info great. Local auto news you need to hear. Ready to shift your knowledge gear. The pros from the dealer's floor, with tips and tricks and so much more. Be the buyer that's wise and smart. Rolling in style, you're off to a start. Mohawk Table Talk, come join the ride. The podcast that's got you auto supplied. From deals to trends and buying advice, we'll make car shopping extra nice. Got a question? Ask away. Nate and Mike got things to say. Guests drop in with insights to share. They'll guide you with their expert flair. Stories flow, insights unfold. Stay ahead, drive bold and cold. Mohawk secrets shared with care. Hit the road with confidence to spare. Mohawk Table Talk, come join the ride. The podcast that's got you auto supplied. From deals to trends and buying advice, we'll make car shopping extra nice. Stories flow, insights unfold. Stay ahead, drive bold and cold. Mohawk secrets shared with care. Hit the road with confidence to spare. Mohawk Table Talk, come join the ride. The podcast that's got you auto supply. From deals to trends and buying advice, we'll make car shopping extra nice. Tune in Tuesdays, don't be late. Nate and Mike got info great. Local auto news you need to hear. Ready to shift your knowledge gear. They're the pros from the dealer's floor, with tips and tricks and so much more. Be the buyer that's wise and smart. Rolling in style, you're off to a start. Mohawk Table Talk, come join the ride. The podcast that's got you auto supplied. From deals to trends and buying advice, we'll make car shopping extra nice. Got a question? Ask away. Nate and Mike got things to say. Guests drop in with insights to share. They'll guide you with their expert flair. Stories flow, insights unfold. Stay ahead, drive bold and cold. Mohawk secrets share.
Now we're good. Now we have audio. Do we have audio?
Checking the stream. Checking the stream right now.
All right.
Let's check it.
And if you're tuned in, thanks. Hey, hang on. We're going to do that again. And if you just heard us, then you're either in this room or you're a really good lip reader.
Good?
Because that first
audio
60
is
seconds
good, everybody.
here.
Well, welcome to Mohawk Table Talk. There's a lot going on in the world, and none of the least is not exciting. Everything's exciting.
Well, live podcasts are exciting.
That was like a double negative. I think I really messed that up, but it's fine.
That's right. So welcome for the second time in the last 60 seconds to Mohawk Table Talk. We're your hosts. My name is Nate. His name is Nate. My name is Mike. We got us confused there. We're coming to you live from the Mohawk Honda Studios in upstate New York. And Mohawk Table Talk, if it's your first time joining us, thank you for tuning in. We are your hosts with the most, and we bring you news starting from our local, what's going on here in our community, to the region, to what's going on for you as a buyer or somebody who services their vehicle, and also nationally. We'll talk about some of those topics today. We got some pretty hot ones today we want to talk about.
A lot of hot topics going on, including the car buying atmosphere. What should you look for that? And if you've never joined us, we are here to help you give tips and tricks when buying and understand the car market, because we know that informed buyers are the best buyers, and we made this podcast for you. So without further ado, we have a lot of things going on. Let's get started. And to start off, we always are doing things in the community. Mohawk loves to be a part of the community, and we were just at Folds of Honor golf tournament yesterday at Van Patten Golf Course. We have the Special Olympics Night of Champions going on. That is going to be July 11th. Yes, it's hard to believe we're coming to the close of June. Of June. We also are going to be at the Aspire Kids Clinic, basketball clinic that they have. They're having a tournament on June 27th. And then also July 27th, we have the Drive for Inclusion car show happening at Mohawk Chevrolet for the Special Olympics. We're going to have a huge turnout. We're going to have over 300 vehicles there. So
that's a lot. And congrats on doing that from memory, because you had me beat. One thing I do remember, and your legs probably remember, Nate was there at the Special Olympics torch run. Right? So that was a few days ago. Congratulations to Nate and everybody who participated. Law enforcement was kind of spearheading that, but that torch run went pretty well. How do you feel?
I feel good. My legs are still good. You know, I actually felt good.
Okay.
Like after the run, it was about, for me, I ran about 8 miles.
Okay. Still, that's not.
You know, I got in and out of the vehicle a few times, getting shots, getting some photos. Jared actually got out of the vehicle a few times.
Okay.
Sprinting with his little legs.
He said he was on last week, so we had him on last week. He's back behind the the
back in front of the producer studios.
That's right. But he had said he was going to hang out of the car and all this kind of thing. I saw a few stills. I think that came.
Jenny definitely got out of the sunroof. Yep.
Okay. It was very legal, by the way. This is all governed and
we're going very slow. There was no safety there were safety precautions. It wasn't unsafe is what I meant to say. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. We started in Schenectady at Veterans Park and ended up at the Capitol, and all of that was to benefit the Special Olympics with law enforcement. They came together, bought a bunch of shirts, and raised a bunch of money so that athletes have the opportunity to play sports free. And so they go all over the nation. They have chapters in every state. Every county has their own, and it allows those with special needs to play in sports play in sports free of charge. So tournaments, championships, all paid for by generous supporters like the law enforcement individuals that took part in the run.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
So,
that was a great event, and of course the torch was being run because it's the start of some of the Olympic events, including the couple that Nate just mentioned. So please follow us for additional info. We'd love if you participated also. If you'd like to show up, volunteer. I know I'll be at a couple of those, and we'll document it on our site. So at minimum, we'll update you every week. And again, if we didn't mention it before, Mohawk Table Talk every Tuesday, somewhere between 12:30 and 1:30. We usually get a
depending on what's going on.
That's right. We have
There's
a lot of other
things.
things. And on that note, one of the things that delayed our start today was
Plate change challenge.
Plate Change Challenge, right? That was episode 4.
4. Yeah, so
So-
we're on episode 4. Today was the stoplight seat swap, and if you are part of our TikTok community,
Oh, you got
and
a sneak peek.
you got a chance to look at some of the social squad with Libby from Fly 92 going at it, giving our own time, trying to see how we could fare to the intense competition.
Boy, I can't wait to see when these episodes are complete, and we're going to air them when? It's August?
Yep, early August. The grand finale will be at Valley Cats August
Ooh.
1st, underneath the lights.
Well, okay. Ooh, Valley Cats.
Yep.
That's a big venue. It's like a baseball stadium, right? So
Yes.
yeah, that's going to be pretty cool. So tune in for that. We'll continue to update you every week on the podcast. We bring you the latest and greatest on what's going on here. Also, some things that are going on outside of the Mohawk Honda and Mohawk Chevrolet and Rap Kings and Mohawk Collision community. But and last week when we had Jared on, we talked about a couple things. We talked about some EVs, right? And we talked about Waymo.
Waymo,
Right?
which
So-
is a great segue into what we're going to talk about
yeah,
next.
that's one of the things because it's right on the top of that ticker. If you're well, you're probably not, but if you're like me, I have automobiles as the topic on every browser. I have AI update me every day with what's going on.
Yeah, I mean,
and
as soon as I go into my Chrome,
it's right there,
It
like,
just like
it's
gives me the latest
that
news on
feed-
everything.
the feed
Yeah, the
on
feed that
everything
shows
is right there.
Tech, robot, AI, liquid glass, iPhone, passport.
That's
Reviewers and shoppers are
Wow.
calling the U.S.-built 2026 Passport Trail Sport perfect. Here's why so many people are excited about this new full-size
Ooh.
SUV.
And guess what? People can find out for themselves right here at Mohawk Honda. We
That's
have
right.
New 26 Passports in stock. We featured some of them on our social media posts, but stop in. There's nothing like a test drive. Nothing like it. So
And that's from Torque News, why everybody's excited about the Passport.
all new design. I think that's why they're and trail sports, right?
So, hot take. This isn't even a part of the show, but this is just we're just riffing. So, hot take is that the Passport is what consumers are actually looking for. They're looking for a off-road capable, even if they're not going to go off-road. That's why people love Jeeps. How many
People go
pavement
off-road, right?
princesses are out there? They drive a Jeep Wrangler, never goes off-road, but the Wrangler is literally meant to go off-road.
That's what it's built for. But
And
they don't use it for
people
that.
just love that rugged look. And that's really where Passport has come in to kind of bring the Honda side of reliability and what people love most about Honda and the ruggedness of a Jeep or anything like that. Now, full disclosure, I don't think anyone is going to lift a Passport, throw massive wheels on it and go rock climbing. But again, most people that buy a Jeep don't go rock climbing.
And that you're probably right. Although somebody could take that as a challenge. So somebody
I'm
watching
ready.
and there's a new Passport.
Please send us videos if someone does this. I would love to see
And I got-
someone rock
I got
climb
the
with a
wheels
lifted
turning.
Passport.
Who do I need to ask at the dealership here for us to convert one? We'll get Greg on the next. We'll get Greg on the next.
Greg's coming on the next
episode.
Passport.
That's right.
Coming on the next podcast.
Right. He'll be
We'll
driving
lift
it.
his Passport.
That's right. No, that's really pretty cool. And one of our customers pointed out just yesterday. One of our customers pointed out that Honda, as they've vaulted into this trail sport kind of off-road capable vehicle, now has like every segment possible. We have always made economy cars. We have an EV. We have affordable. We have family vehicles. We have vans. We even have race cars, right? You have Formula One. You have open wheel race cars.
Yep.
They have lawnmowers. They have everything you could possibly put an engine in. And now we have an off-road capable vehicle.
Small engines, boat engines,
Yeah, exactly.
you name it.
It's almost infinite. So yeah, that's really neat. I can tell you one place that we haven't gone yet. Honda hasn't gone yet. Is we don't have a Robo taxi yet.
We don't have a robo-taxi, no. But so I did see something funny. I don't know if it's actually true. I saw it on Honda Pro Jason's Instagram.
Okay.
Is that Honda made a self, just like SpaceX, they made a rocket that comes back. I don't know if
you're
that's
right.
true, but I saw that video.
I saw that too.
We're gonna have to find that out,
We're
but
gonna
I
have to-
don't know.
We're gonna have to look into this. I bet you somebody's seen it. If you're watching and you're watching live, chime in. If you're watching the replay, put in the comments if you saw that, because that's pretty cool. What's the new thing anyway with the rockets that go up and then they don't just go up and come down; they land.
They
in
land
the same
themselves
spot.
and they get
Right.
caught by massive arms that just.
Yeah.
I mean,
land
reusable
here.
rockets. That's what it's called. Reusable
Yeah,
rockets.
that's pretty cool. So last week, not exactly on the similar note because these don't go in the air, but we were talking about Waymo, and we were specifically talking about San Francisco and California where there is Waymo service. The other three
Waymo
cities,
service?
That's right. The other three because I have it here on my screen. The other three cities, by the way, where there is Waymo service: Phoenix, Arizona, of course, San Francisco, California, Los Angeles, California, and Austin, Texas. And the reason I bring up Austin, Texas, is because on the top of the news feed today was Tesla's Robo taxi that is in beta, it's still in testing in beta in Austin, Texas. So now, if anybody's watching from Austin, I'd love to hear any feedback. Do you see what you have? You have Waymo vehicles driving around, and now you have Tesla vehicles driving around. The only difference is you'll be able to identify the Tesla because it's a Tesla vehicle.
Obviously, it looks like it.
Yeah, exactly. We were talking last week. Jared and I determined that the Waymo vehicles are Jaguar I-Paces, right? I-Pace, and also Chrysler Pacificas. So Waymo doesn't have
What
their
a
own brand.
difference.
Yeah, two kind of those are different.
Now, I haven't
things.
seen the Waymo cars. Are they like what I imagine them to be, which kind of looks like one of the Google Maps where it's got the thing
Yes.
on the top and it's spinning around and you have all of those still?
Yes, and
Okay.
our research online on the podcast last week showed that the reason that they use the Jaguar I-Pace, besides being an EV, is that the framework of the vehicle fit all of the hardware that they needed. Because boy, it looks like a spaceship, as far as but you need all those sensors and you need all that
Right.
all that data feed to make sure that the vehicle drives properly. So if you saw, I think we shared this before we started, but they currently. Now, Tesla just started this, right? So they have a very small area where they're testing it in Austin, all safe and supervised. In fact, so safe that currently they have a human co-pilot just in case.
Just in case.
Just in case.
I mean, I
guess that kind of makes sense.
I would have that.
And I was asking Jared last week if he was comfortable taking a robo taxi with no. Imagine that the car pulls up, there's nobody in the car, and you just jump in the back and trust that the car is going to get you there safely. Right?
Yeah.
Like Waymo, but Tesla at least has a human being in the car.
Yeah,
Isn't that weird? That's weird.
it is very weird. It's like So my thing, like, imagine Waymo, and this is the devil's advocate type of deal of, imagine someone gets into the Waymo vehicle and doesn't get out, and that person is not looking to be a nice person.
Right.
Are they going to know?
And what do you do about it?
Exactly. I don't know.
I don't know either.
That's why I'm playing devil's advocate.
Yeah.
Me personally, I don't know. I don't know if I would get into someone without a person because you just never know. I mean, technology is great when it works, and everybody knows you try to use your iPhone sometimes and it doesn't work right. And they've been building iPhones for 25 years now at this point, right?
Yeah.
So having a new technology, even though Waymo has been around for a long time, I'd say at least 10 to 15 years, you still could have a glitch in the code somewhere that someone didn't catch, where maybe the car just shuts down. I don't know if something like that happens. It just has a kill switch just in case anything was to happen, or maybe they have somebody monitoring it from a central hub. But I think it's nice to have a person that's actually in there, the quote-unquote co-pilot for Tesla, where you have someone in there. I know someone was making a comment that the person was holding on to it. They're trying to figure out what that is. Could be emergency, whatever it is. But to have someone in there that's almost like the specialist, that's kind of overseeing it all, right? And then I think the more and more that it happens, you'll have to reassure people if there's someone not in there, like, hey, we're monitoring this. Hey, don't worry, if anything happens, we have a kill switch to make sure nothing happens to the car, all the doors open. Like, imagine you're in the car and you're trying to get out of the car and the car's locked.
Right.
You know?
Yeah,
That's my opinion, hot take on it. It has to be monitored, and I'm sure that it isn't being monitored, which I haven't seen in here. In the things, it's just saying, but
You know what would be super helpful for those questions, and I have equally as many questions about the what ifs, right? I think as human beings, we naturally want to know, geez, what happens if this, if this happens, what does the vehicle do? If this happens, what do I do? And having that type of question and answers available on their website might be helpful. Even with video, that would be cool, right? Like, for example, I had people just kind of asking questions in general, thinking, hey, you're a car guy, do you know this? And I didn't know the answer. If you have a self-driving vehicle, this could be a Waymo, it could be a Tesla, it could be any vehicle. If you have a self-driving vehicle, and I'm an animal lover, and the vehicle's coming up and it detects a rodent or something in the street, how does the vehicle react? Because that person knows how they would react. I know how I would react. Does the vehicle disregard it? Does it just keep going? That would be a problem for the animal. Or does it swerve? And if so, what danger does that put the vehicle and the passengers in? That's just one example, right? Like, there has to be some coding in the system for situations. Because
well, that's an
so
interesting
many,
thought. And my thought personally for this is it's going to take a few things into account. One, it's not going to swerve, hands down, because that's an insurance liability. Insurance says if something's in the road, you are to maintain your driving.
You would
right?
think so. You would think, but yeah.
But like if it's an autonomous mind, I'm sure that they've coded in there, like, I'm sure they've talked back and forth with the code to be like, hey, in order to be insurance compliant, you need to never swerve, right? You need to check behind you. If there's a vehicle behind you and they're coming and there's an animal in the car, keep going. Or, whatever it is, because they're gonna have to put a priority in there of, okay, if it's an animal versus a human behind you,
right? All that happens in
a blink of an eye,
right? Like literally a thousandth or
which
a 10,000th
you never
of a
know
second.
because it can detect farther out. It can probably see things. It's, if you have multiple eyes looking different levels. I mean, your phone right now can trace. If you're in photo mode, right? It can see everybody moving around. You now have those squares.
Yep,
so it's going to do the same thing. It's going to notice things that are moving. I'm sure it's got infrared. It's got all of these different aspects of technology that will notice it ahead of time. And we'll start to make all these calculations, right? That's how I imagine. That's how I imagine it's going to happen. Like,
and it's exponentially more than that. And that's just one scenario that we were just playing down. Imagine all the other thousands.
I mean,
and millions
that's
of
just that one,
scenarios
right?
there are. And I think that's where the doubt comes in. The irony in this whole thing, though, when we talk about autonomous driving and robo-taxis, that there are a lot of statistics that say that autonomous driving, robot-driven vehicles are actually more safe than humans, because humans,
of course,
can be distracted, tired, et cetera, et cetera. You can have physical issues and all that kind of thing, where obviously a computer or a robot won't have that.
I do agree with that. I also know that eventually what will happen is there's going to be an autonomous lane only, right? Just like a bus, just like whatever it is. And Honda was working on a swarm technology where everything talks to one another. So one autonomous vehicle is talking to another autonomous vehicle, and they talk back and forth, say, okay, you go, I go, whatever it is. And then it's going to almost be, is a weird analogy, but if you've ever heard of bees take the same track, but they never collide because they're always talking, they're making noises, they're communicating through different ways, but they move all around in the hive and they never bump into each other, they never have an issue. And that's kind of that swarm technology that they're making is going to talk to one another, so it will reduce accidents, it will reduce all of these things. And of course, an autonomous vehicle is not going to be distracted, right? It doesn't have to worry about taking a phone call, and if it does, it's going to have a separate system for that. So it's going to be completely different piece of the mind, and it can do all of that stuff. So yeah, I agree. It definitely will be safer. Time will tell how long it will be before they kick us off the road, Mike.
Yeah. That could happen. That could happen. Probably, I don't know about in our lifetime, but we'll see. You never know. Technology advancing so quickly, anything could happen at any time. And as we were talking about Tesla,
It used to be 5 years for every 1 year. I'm sure it's getting up to the point where
That's right. It's gonna be
10
years.
to 12
Yeah.
years for every 1 year.
You're right.
It's
Tesla.
like 5 years every 6 months now.
Tesla will
Anyway,
probably-
continue.
Yeah, they'll probably give us some more feedback on their beta in testing in Austin. That's going on now.
Yep.
And we have kind of searched and looked for some videos that were online. That was pretty cool. We saw some people using the Tesla Robo taxis, but Tesla in general, their market share in the EV space has decreased a bit. Chances are that's because there are more players in that space.
There's
of
definitely
course.
a lot more players
A lot more
now.
players. Also, again, we don't get into politics, but there certainly was a political tint to what happened with Tesla and their share value and so forth based on.
I mean, you couldn't go into the news without seeing something
Yeah.
about Elon or Tesla. So
Yep.
I'm sure that had some type of effect on sales or whatnot.
Yeah.
I also think there, back to your point of, there's a lot more players in the space. You have 3 EVs from General Motors now. You have 1 from Honda. Nissan has it. You have a lot more. You have Hyundai that has its IQ, and then you have Karma, Fisker, who is kind of in the space but not really anymore. Volvo, Jaguar,
Yep.
all of them are coming
BMW,
in.
yep.
BMW also coming in. So you have way more players, way more options, and people that don't want a Tesla. For those individuals who don't want to hop on the bandwagon,
Yep.
they will find other vehicle manufacturers to fill that void.
Yeah. And we were even touching last week on the fact that new EV sales for the first time in 18 months actually took a dip in the last 30 to 60 days. We mentioned that last week. However, we saw a big increase in used EV sales over
Yes.
the last same period of time. And so to me, that meant that the same amount of EVs were being purchased by customers, but people might have shifted from new to used.
Right.
And that kind of segues into our main topic that we were going to chat about, even though talking about Waymo and Tesla robo-taxis are pretty cool. What's happening in the now and not in the future is that there has been a bit of a dip in new car intending and purchasing.
Yep.
So few less new cars being sold now, but the used car market is still robust. In fact, we have talked about before, I shared some of the stats about how many vehicles are sold nationwide of all brands, brand new cars.
Right.
And at the beginning of the year, first quarter, that seasonally adjusted annualized rate, or what they think was going to be sold, was at about 17 million new cars for 2025. That was what the goal, that was the projection, I should say. That was the projection based on the sale rate. However, that's now dipped to about 16 million, or just a hair under. So that's quite a difference.
That's a huge dip,
That's a
yeah.
huge dip in new car in new car sales, and that's based on recent, recent rate of travel. Meaning, in the last 30 to 60 days, we've seen the rate of purchasing slow down. Therefore, if you kind of annualize that out, it would come out to closer to 16 million, not 17 million. So there's a lot of talk about why that could be. Big differences for sure. Or that, 60 days ago or less, we thought every vehicle was going to have a tariff,
Yep.
right? So people, there were 2 sides of that coin. Some people went and bought a car right away because they wanted to get ahead of it, but there were a lot of folks that said, oh, that's it. I was only thinking about buying a car. Now, no way. We have tariffs, we have this, we have that. Like, I'm just going to do with the car that I have, and I'm gonna wait this thing out.
It's almost like sometimes you feel we have too much information on what's going on.
It is. It's
Because
what
not
do I
every
believe?
Not everything is going to impact what we think it's going to impact, and we're just waiting for something to happen, but then it doesn't. So it's almost that, put in perspective, I have a toddler, and that toddler, you tell them you can't have dessert right now, freaks out and says, my life is over, the day is not going to be good anymore, but all you said, like, hey, we'll still look to have it later, but just not right now.
Not right now.
And they're like, oh! it's like similar for us. It's like, okay, something's happened. We don't know what's going to happen. Oh!
Right.
But that's just where I feel like, because we have so much information, that's kind of where we're headed at this moment in time. Is just people think everything is going to affect them right in that moment, and it's just not. It's something to be aware of, but it's not something that immediately needs attention.
Right. It doesn't necessarily immediately need attention, and I believe that there's no one answer for everybody, right? So
Right.
If somebody asks in general, is it a good time to buy a car or is it a bad time? Well, that's not necessarily a set answer to that. It could be a good time for somebody, depending on what vehicle you're looking at, depending on your
Right.
need and so forth. So, for example, as I'm scrolling here, looking at the results about asking our friends here, why is there a slowdown in new vehicle sales? The one thing we've seen is we've seen a rebound on the other side where the incentives, as far as what manufacturers are offering to customers as far as monetary
Right.
discounts, are the biggest discounts we've seen in over 10 years. So that's good. So you're broaching over $3,000 per vehicle
Well, there you
on
go.
average, right? That doesn't mean every car gets $3,000, but some vehicles do, some don't. So for example, if you were thinking about waiting and just going to wait it out, if you find a vehicle that has a pretty good incentive on it, and you maybe it might help you out, right? It could reduce that monthly payment from what you might pay in the future. It could take on some negative equity if you have some in your trade. It could help you with a lot of different things. And also, we've seen a resurgence in low interest rates, right? So even Honda, I know General Motors has some,
Yep.
Chevy has some. Select new vehicles have low APRs. I know at Honda starting as low as 2.99%. Some pre-owned even at 0.99%. So some super low rates depending on the year and all that other kind of thing. So there certainly are ways to kind of beat the system on this. So if you're indifferent on making a decision, I advise you talk to one of the sales professionals, especially if you're considering a Honda or a Chevy or a pre-owned vehicle.
Yeah.
Touch base with our website, get on the chat feature, give us a call. You can always stop in. I'm happy to chat with you, or any of our team is at either store. So stop through, ask those questions, and we can at least give you your options, because you might be surprised.
Yeah, I like that. I think I like the fact that sometimes it's dependent on what your need is, and that we do a needs analysis when you come into the store to kind of figure out and help you. And of course, we can do it over the phone, we can do it through chat, but we want to make sure that you are educated to understand, like, okay, I know that they want to sell a car. Obviously, we want to sell you a car. We want to be your person when you're in the vehicle market. But we also know that everybody is different. Everybody has different needs and where you are in life and what you're actually looking to do. Are you looking for new? Are you looking for used? What's your budget? Maybe your budget's higher than somebody else's or lower than somebody else's. And that's how one of our sales consultants can come in and kind of and help you understand, oh, maybe it's not a good time to purchase now, but maybe next month.
Sure.
Or maybe I really need to hop in on it now because things fluctuate so much and this looks like a prime time to get in on the vehicle of a used vehicle, right? So that was a good point. I really like that. It's good for some, not for others, and that's just the way the market runs.
Yeah, and the good news is at Mohawk Honda, Mohawk Chevrolet, information is free. So it's free to our customers, free to shoppers. If you'd like some answers or like some options, we're happy to give them to you. There's, of course, no charge or obligation to that. So that way, at least you have the information, and you're not just reading news headlines that may not apply to you or may not apply to your situation. So we'd love to do that. And just to top that off on terms of why vehicle sales may be down, we actually see a bit of resurgence. And the good news, and meaning it's coming back, the good news is vehicles are available, right? So 2 months ago or so, it seemed like there was a tightening. Manufacturers weren't sure what was going to happen with tariffs, so some of the production slowed down, and there was kind of a bottleneck there. But it's opened back up. So that means if you have a vehicle that you'd like, because none of the vehicles are super inexpensive, right? They all cost a decent amount of money.
Yeah.
You want to get what you want, though, right?
Right.
I mean, you know, Nate and I both have a yellow shirt. He's wearing his today. I'm wearing this cool green. We kind of match, actually. And
green and yellow,
that's
green
right.
and yellow.
So I like this shirt. A lot of people may not like it. You may like a certain color car, and you don't want to settle for something that you don't like, right? Whether it's color or equipment, or if you want that trail sport and you want to not be that pavement person or whatever you call them.
Pavement princess.
Well, all right, and you want to get off-road and that's what you want, then don't settle for anything less, right? Make sure you get what you want. There are vehicles available, both Honda and Chevrolet. We're happy to explain to you what's available and what trims. So that's a real positive that maybe wasn't the case a couple months ago.
Yep. So from robo taxis to the vehicle that you're looking to buy, we are here to make sure you understand the car market and what's going on in the automotive industry here on Mohawk Table Talk. Mike, I think we did
covered
it.
a lot.
We made it.
We did.
We made it to the end. We don't want to bore anybody. We want to make sure that we give some time back. And if you're listening on Spotify or following us on any of our socials, we want to thank you so much for being active listeners and commenting on these, because we are here for you. And we want to make sure that you stay educated, because we all know informed buyers are the best buyers. And that's what we believe here at Mohawk Auto Group, Mohawk Honda, Mohawk Chevrolet. So without any other delay, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time on Mohawk Table Talk.